Great. It shows us live on YouTube and Facebook. So I'll double check here that that's accurate. Just sharing this out. I know several people are already starting to hop on. Okay, I do see a couple of people already on here. Quick shout out to our past chair, Brian Dice, Nazim, and I see a few others. As you guys are starting to hop onto the broadcast, do me the huge favor, give me a reaction to the video. It can be a thumbs up, a heart, a little care button. Don't give me the angry. We don't like those to start off the day. And also feel free to start commenting into the comment section of this broadcast so we know that you are on here. You can share with us good morning pleasantries. You can even share, congrats, welcome to the network messages along the way. Now I'll go ahead and give the basic housekeeping rules that I do at the very start of every video, and I'm going to change it up. So if you've heard this for like the 200th and 30th time, then I'm going to switch it out of order to keep you on your toes. If you are a returning viewer, hit the share button on our video so others in your network see that we're live and that they can tune in and engage with us on this platform. If you're a first-time attendee, we hope that this is not the last, that you engage with us in the future, and you can do so by hitting the like button, making sure that you not only like the page, but that you follow it so that you can get alerted when we post out content. Now, we're on all social media platforms. That's Instagram and Twitter at Westy Chamber. We're also streaming this at the very same time on our YouTube channel, Westminster Chamber of Commerce. And of course, you can find us on LinkedIn at Westminster Chamber of Commerce. Now, our website directly is westminsterchamber.biz for those of you that may not be familiar, but the different platforms that we have allow for you to engage with us in numerous ways. We like to like your pages, engage with you, comment back, and just share with you different messages. So different platforms allow us to do that. On Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, we host our live broadcasts. These have been pared down, so we used to do these daily. We started them back in March of last year when COVID first unfolded, and we continue them until today just because of you, our viewers, who ask us for content, ask us for the news and information. So we have our Mondays that are geared for our mayor to give us updates on things going on in our community. Wednesdays are welcome to the network, that's welcoming all sorts of businesses into our community, into our network. And then of course on Fridays, we generally round that out either with a federal, state update, or something that may be relevant to your business in terms of resources, funding, and other benefits outside of just the COVID environment that we're in. So long-winded, but I want you to know that we are here for you. So make sure that you comment, engage, like, and let us know what information you'd like to see. Now, I already see a couple of comments that have hopped our way. A good morning message from Brian Dice. Thank you, Brian, for hopping on here. Of course, from Wayne Anderson. I also see you, Christina. Thank you for the quick thumbs up. And I'm just so excited to have Tony with us from Buffalo Wild Wings.
Hey, how are you? Thank you for having me.
I'm doing terrific. And Tony, this is not our very first time to meet, although it is virtual this time. And I'm just so thrilled to have you on here to be able to share more about yourself, about the brand, and just some fun things going on in your wheelhouse. So are you ready to just kind of go with it and take it away?
Absolutely. Great to see a familiar face. Obviously, we met at the opening of our Westminster location several months back. I think it was March 17th. I think it was actually St. Patty's Day, if I recall. So, but like you said, my name's Tony Rotroff. I head up operations for Buffalo Wild Wings Go. I actually live in Western Pennsylvania, just outside of Pittsburgh. I am a Steelers fan for all of you Bronco fans out there. I've been with our organization probably about 10 years, but I'm sure we'll get into work. Let's see, personally, recently engaged throughout COVID, which is pretty cool. and the proud father of 3 boys about to be all teenagers here
Oh my
coming
God.
up. So balancing work and life and scaling our Buffalo Wild Wings Go concept nationally, and happy to be in Denver.
That is awesome. Okay, so you've just given me so many things. So I have typed in, I'm not a sports fanatic by any mean, but I have typed in, Steelers fan, any others, or anyone that just doesn't care for Steelers. You can let us know. I don't take any personal offense. But it was March that we had your official opening. It was March of last year, if I'm not mistaken. Was it last year? Was it
no,
this?
It was this year, March.
Oh my gosh, it feels like 2 years ago.
Honestly, it does for me too, so I don't feel bad. But yes, it was March of this year, and
yes.
And again, I'm pretty sure it was St. Patrick's Day.
It was, yes. And you guys donated to a precious child. You had a big mascot that was out there, huge showing, just such a fun event. And we were so happy to be a part of it, of your grand opening. And I've typed that into the comment section. For those of you that are not aware, they actually opened a new location here in Westminster in our South Historic Park. So it's right off of Federal. I would say the nearest kind of intersection would be 72nd and Federal here in Westminster. But that store is booming. So I also have a past board chairman, Brian Head, who's hopping on here and sharing quick good morning. He's also saying that BWW is a favorite spot of his. So just so you know, you've got some raving fans that are on here. So Pittsburgh,
nice for the support, Brian.
I have no idea you're from the East Coast by any means. And so you're a regional VP. And how does that work? Do you have a territory outside of the one that you live in? I mean, clearly, if you're connected to all the way down here in Colorado.
Yeah, so currently, as we scale Buffalo Wild Wings Go, it's actually national. So I stretch nationally. We're in 4 different states right now, Denver, Colorado being one of them. We're also in Atlanta. We're in San Antonio. We're in Houston. We're in Phoenix, and we're growing throughout the country. So right now, all of the locations are corporate locations, and I oversee those, and I'm part of all the openings as well.
And you do all that, and you have 3 boys that are teens. Is that right?
That's correct.
That is wild. I can't even imagine this. And then you've got this awesome relationship. I'm going to say it's awesome because what we saw during COVID was this: either you love the person that you're with, or you quickly decided that you guys were not benefiting one another. And so to see that you guys kind of came together during that time speaks volumes of kind of that relationship. So congratulations on that recent engagement.
Yeah, we doubled down throughout COVID. I would say that quarantine was nice for us, and nice enough that we got engaged. So yes,
that's so fun. Yeah, that's awesome. Christina's commenting and giving you a nice, she loves BW. So sharing that into the comments. So let's kind of transition a little bit more into your role. You're the regional VP. We've got locations that are not only in Colorado, again, they're in Georgia, they're all over, they're in Oklahoma, all over the US really. But your specific role, how long have you been in it? And what does that look like? Are you just going around for those openings and that's pretty much it, gravy from there? Or are you also in charge of kind of looking at each individual site and whether its performance are meeting the expectations that you've set there?
Yeah, so actually started August of last year. I was tapped to help scale this concept as well as double duty doing my current role, which was managing a territory for our sports bar business. Fully involved in this since January of this year. Head up and work with an extensive cross-functional team. So when you think about all the departments in which Go stretches, it's development, it's real estate, it's training, it's marketing. So heavily involved with each one of those departments in scaling this concept. So everything from strategic ops to day-to-day operations to franchise support, which we'll be getting into soon. And then, as granular as the openings and the, day-to-day business, financials, and P&L management of each individual Go.
That is awesome. Parker, thank you for tuning in, and Jason Gang. So much that you're doing for marketing, strategic ops. I tried to type in all of this, day-to-day operations. And then you said franchise support. And I don't know if I can, move into this, if that's something that you're willing to share more of, or we could just transition immediately into just the company.
Yeah, well, I mean, we could just touch briefly. I mean, we don't have any franchise locations that are open right now, but we do have some franchisees that are interested, and we will be scaling with our franchise partners. So not a whole lot to get into right on the franchise side of the business, but the majority of our growth today is company.
Yeah.
and we're going to continue to do that throughout the remainder of this year.
Yeah, no, that's so great. And I knew that there weren't any in specific that were franchise owned. And so as soon as you said that, I was like, this is new. What is it? Tell us a little bit more about that. So that's exciting. That allows for greater growth. It allows for more of like a local person that's owning it, that's running it, and making sure that it's fitting the mold of their environment that they're in. But honestly, you guys are doing an awesome job even on your own. And so let's go into, what does that mean for your company? How long has Buffalo Wild Wings been around? How long has some of the concepts that you now have, the newer ones that we talk about, how long have those been in existence, and what did it start out with? Like, give me a history of, was this at a dining room table and two people sitting there just kind of like gnawing on bones? I mean, how did this come to fruition?
Well, I guess we could go two parts on this. So we're part of a much larger organization, enterprise, if you will, and that's called Inspire Brands. So we're headquartered currently right now in Atlanta, Georgia. I started with the company in 2012. I was actually part of another brand within our portfolio, and that was Arby's Restaurant Group. Arby's Restaurant Group, we actually bought Buffalo Wild Wings, and we formed Inspire Brands. Since then, we have several other restaurant concepts that are underneath that portfolio. So Dunkin', Baskin, Rusty Taco, Jimmy John's, Sonic, and of course, Buffalo Wild Wings and Arby's. So we're now the second largest restaurant company within the U.S., which is really cool. And then kind of spinning off. So when you think of Buffalo Wild Wings separately, Buffalo Wild Wings started over 35 years ago. There's actually two individuals, Jim and Scott, who wanted a place to have wings. They had wings in New York, and they'd moved to Ohio. So they wanted to open a place where they could have wings and beer. And then Buffalo Wild Wings was born. So we have over 1,280 locations, sports bar locations here currently. Beer, wings, and sports is pretty much what Buffalo Wild Wings is. And then Buffalo Wild Wings Go actually started to come to fruition a couple of years ago. So if you take a look at the way that the market has shifted, the way that consumer, no pun intended, digest product, if you will, there's definitely a need for more of the takeout, the off-premise component. So we decided to open up Buffalo Wild Wings Go. Buffalo Wild Wings Go really is a complementary concept to Buffalo Wild Wings. So you can still get our same great wings and sauces and seasonings. And we do offer a limited menu. That limited menu really comprises of about 85 to 88% of what you can get off-premise takeout to go in a sports bar today. So it's a contactless convenience experience, a much different occasion than if you were to go to sit down and eat at a Buffalo Wild Wings sports bar. But really, that's the nuts and bolts and the gist, if you will, of BW's Go.
Yeah, and I wasn't too far off. I feel like Jim and Scott were at that kitchen table after they moved from New York, and we're wondering, what did we do moving to Ohio and leaving the Big Apple? I am from New York originally, so I have to throw that in there. But 1,200 locations is amazing. And then this new takeout option that you're sharing, I'm going to pause because I've seen you in different markets. I've seen Buffalo Wild Wings, not you in specific. That would be a little bit creepy, but I've seen the restaurant and kind of this environment in different states, and it looks different in every community that it's in. So I've seen where you can go over there and the environment actually allows for more of, you can have kids, you can have family in one particular area. And then there's like this whole other space that's almost kind of closed off. That's more of the bar scene. I've seen that concept. I've seen it mixed kind of intertwined, but all the environments seem to be a little bit family friendly as well. They're not just restricted to, let's go out there and drink and watch games and then go home.
Yep. Absolutely. And again, that's our sports bar business. So, different occasions, different events, and different core consumers there when you think of what that need may be. And again, Buffalo Wild Wings Go is more of that takeout off-premise opportunity. So this may be driving home for work. This may be grabbing quick lunch to go. We're more so limited seated in a Buffalo Wild Wings Go. Right. Prototypically, our space, our footprint, if you will, is about 1,200 to 1,600 square feet. Anywhere from 8 to 24 seats. So very, a much different look than our larger parent company of Buffalo Wild Wings and the sports bar. But again, a different occasion, a lot of the same core menu offerings, and some really cool, innovative things that we have going on within Buffalo Wild Wings Go.
For sure. And one of those things over the last few years that I've noticed, at least when I shop personally at Costco, I find Buffalo Wild Wings sauces that are there. So you've packaged your items, you've packaged your products as well now.
Yeah, we do retail a lot of our sauces, which is pretty neat, and that allows our consumer to, if they want to make wings at home, they have their sauce, and that's available to them. We do offer that within our Buffalo Wild Wings Go space and also our sports bar, but you can get it in retail off outside of one of our restaurants, which is pretty neat, and a lot of our brands do that as well. You'll see Dunkin' packaging and coffee that's available maybe in a grocery chain. So a lot of concepts have utilized that retail component, if you will.
Yeah, no, I think that's amazing. And I knew you were part of the larger brand. I had no idea that all of those other brands were connected to that one as well. And you've listed off some pretty awesome ones. Dunkin' by far is the best coffee that's out there if I'm going to look at it, chains, right? Like,
very true. Yeah.
I'm just used to the mini donuts. Like, I remember we used to get those mini round donuts growing up, right? Like, youngest of 6, that easily the easiest thing that your parents can get in the morning. But I think that's awesome. So your to-go concept was probably pretty well timed when we look at COVID and just this last year with the uptick in to-go ordering, contactless systems that were out there, delivery options. I think this would have filled that role and probably contributed to so much of the success that you're seeing in a lot of your markets.
Yeah, absolutely. Really by happenstance in which this all came about. Nobody anticipated COVID, obviously. But when you think about the direction of the consumer and scaling down to offer really an off-premise model, you've seen a lot of our competitors and a lot of other brands move in this direction. And we like to be on the forefront, and we wanted to get out ahead of these things. And you see a lot of other competitors that are following suit, and that's fine. But we like to think that we do it the best.
Yeah. Well, and you set the trend, right? And so when we talk about what are some differentiating factors or what are some things that make BWW really unique, I would think like trend setting is one of those. But what other qualities do you see in your brand, in the company that does set you apart from those surrounding competitions or anyone that is trying to do something similar or in a similar line of work?
Yeah, absolutely. And great question. So specific to Buffalo Wild Wings Go, we offer a contactless, hassle-free experience, if you will. So our guest, our consumer is able to order ahead, pay ahead, and essentially walk in, and we have a heated locker system. So a guest would come in, they would see the order screen, they would see their name, and they would also see that their order is assigned to a specific locker. So let's say that locker's locker number 6. They'd be able to walk over, grab their packaging, and exit, and really not even interact with the cashier or any of the team members there. So very, very, very convenient process, if you will. And then we have a lot of menu innovation and a lot of product innovation. And one of those things is a wing procedure. And I won't get into a lot of details around that, but one of the things specifically there is we're able to cook wings a lot faster than our competitors. And what that does is it actually gives us a nice crispier wing, if you will, and allows us to deliver that wing a lot faster. So when you think about speed of service in the occasion or the event in which you are coming to a BW's Go, you want to get in, you want to get out. If you're in a sports bar, that occasion is much longer, right? That transaction is I'm sitting down, I'm having a beer, I'm having a meal, I'm watching a game. And speed of service may not be as important or relevant, but for us at Buffalo Wild Wings Go, to be able to deliver that product, an exceptional product with phenomenal product quality and that speed and that fashion, and allow our guests to have a contactless, hassle-free experience, is a game changer for us.
That is awesome. I love all that. And I have to say that I haven't done this yet. So I need to go in there and truly experience that from the onset of ordering all the way to pickup and kind of going in and out. But you've made it so effortless. And I think that's one of those things that people that do want to be quick and picking things up, if you don't want to run into someone, right, after a long week, you just want to get your food, you want to get home, like you've created that for them. That allows them to do that in such a way that they can get it done, that they get it done, and also still have it be the level of service that they expect from Buffalo Wild Wings. So when you talk about kind of the quicker turnaround that you offer, the crispier, which it's all in that crunch whenever people hear it, like all of those small qualities that people really are looking for in their wings. Thank you so much, Christina. She helped me figure out the name of the little donuts.
Munchkins, that's right.
Yes, those are phenomenal.
And if you're interested in Dunkin', we actually have a Dunkin' that anchors the outside of that specific plaza, which the Buffalo Wild Wings Go is there in Westminster. So you can get both products within the same retail space.
Oh yes. Well, you were in our market in a couple locations. So we've got this new location that's off of Federal, and then we're also seeing that the more traditional, the sports sit-down establishment that we can find in our town center drive in Westminster as well. And so then when you're looking at Dunkin' and things like that, we've got the one that's right there. You're right. It's anchoring right beside your newest concept, and then there's another one right off of Wadsworth. So all in convenient spaces for those that are looking for those quality products, for sure.
Yeah, I guess one other thing to add too, we talked a little bit about menu innovation. We do offer hand-breaded tenders and chicken sandwiches, which are absolutely delicious. So if you are looking to move into a different product outside of wings, we have those high-quality product offerings as well there at Go, and also in our sports bars.
And that makes sense. It's just like like almost like the natural trajectory to it. So a while ago, like I love really spicy things. This is like a fun fact about me. And I used to eat too much. That's probably why I can't eat so much right now. But you guys used to have competitions. Like the actual sports establishments have where you can compete, and you bring them out. It was like blazing hot from the oven and then slathered in the sauce of death, right? And so you're over here eating it as fast as possible, hoping that your lips don't burn off. Is that something that you're still doing at your stores?
Yeah, we don't offer the Blazing Challenge at Go. We do offer it in our sports bars. It's not the sauce of death. It is actually called the Blazing Sauce. The challenge does still exist, and it's always incredible to watch those that take on the challenge. I've done it myself. I try not to do it again, but there's certain individuals that just love that hot food and that flavor profile. So that heat index, as far as that Blazing Sauce, does exist. And it's a challenge. I would lose.
Oh my gosh, it sure was. No, I remember that. And then I think they take your photo right after it. So you're over here just like tearing up, having accomplished it. But you feel so much pride in completing that, for sure.
Yeah. And my middle son actually loves it, so he's able to. Yeah, he does.
That's so funny. So at your locations, you also have opportunities for people to play at their individual tables. There are rewards that you can sign up for. Let's talk a little bit about some of those perks that are available to your customers.
Yeah, we have a fantastic loyalty program within our app. So if you go to the Buffalo Wild Wings app, Go in our sports bars work within that app. And you're able to earn loyalty points that essentially get you free food. So I encourage everybody to be a loyalty member. And there's some really cool offerings that get sent out to loyalty members as well. So yeah, definitely go on and sign up.
Yeah. Last question for you. This is not a trick question. I know I didn't give you a heads up about it, but you guys came on board with us during COVID, which is a very interesting time for anyone to affiliate with an organization. And so I always have to ask, why were you interested in getting involved with a community organization? Is that more of your brand trying to be a good partner to the community, trying to be more supportive and inclusive of those, or is there additional areas that you hope to be looking at with those types of partnerships?
Yeah, great question. So every time we open a Buffalo Wild Wings Go, during every grand opening ceremony, we do a charitable donation. Specific there in Glendale and Westminster, we did a donation to a Precious Child and also the Boys and Girls Club of Metro Denver. So we do work extensively hard through our foundation to find charitable organizations that we're able to benefit. And usually those organizations are more geared towards kids and making sure that the kids can thrive in those communities. And we're really proud to partner with those organizations in the chamber as well, in which we open up a Go.
Yeah, no, I think that's amazing. And I think it speaks to why you selected those few, for people to see that you are more inclusive and focused on families. You are turning around and investing in those kids, and investing in organizations that support them, because your focus might be food, but you know that for them to be able to survive, to come into your shop, it requires so much servicing into our local economy. So Christina sharing a quick comment our way. She's sharing that it's many fond memories at B-Dubs from playing trivia, Hydro Thunder with her dad, and she's just so happy to have a location that's here close to home. So I think that's such a great comment and testimonial for you, just so you're aware and you can kind of give that feedback to everyone on your end. But Tony, do you have any additional things that I did not get a chance to ask you? Any remaining comments before I start wrapping us up?
Yeah, nothing that stands out. We're really excited to be in Westminster. It's actually one of our top performing locations, so we're really proud of that. And thank you to all of our consumers and our fans that come to that location. And I think the other thing too is that roughly, we think about providing jobs within a community. Each and every go that we open provides roughly around 25 employment opportunities in those communities. So we're excited to not only expand our concept, but offer employment opportunities in each community in which we open.
Yeah, that's awesome. And that's one of the ways that we are going to get out of what we're in, is that economic growth and continual growth. And by providing jobs and supporting people in their livelihoods, I think that's giving them that opportunity to change the environment that they're in today. So a perfect note for us to kind of start wrapping up with, if that's okay. Thank you to those of you that are tuned in right now. For anyone that does end up watching this later on and we're no longer live, we're sorry we missed you, but make sure that you give us that hashtag replay so we see that you tuned in. If you had any questions, which I usually do ask you guys to give me comments or questions, if you had any questions that came to mind that I didn't ask directly of Tony, you can always DM it to the page or comment it. I'll send it over his way. And if it's something that we can get answered for your address, we'll be happy to do that your way. For those of you that already have, thank you for sharing this out, for liking and engaging with the broadcast. Of course, this is Wednesday. It feels like Monday because of the day off that we had, but it is Wednesday, which means that we will have another broadcast on Friday. Friday's broadcast will be with the Department of Labor, and they will be sharing with us more data, information around workforce, around how COVID affected employment. What does that look like in our local economy, of course, in our state. So bring your questions to our broadcast on Friday at 11 o'clock. Thank you so much, Tony, for being on here with me, for sharing a little bit about yourself personally, and of course, your work with Buffalo Wild Wings, the great concept that you guys have as a to-go, and this exciting new future for possible franchise opportunities and continued growth. So appreciate all you do, and thank you for investing in our organization.
Thank you for having me, Julie.